We are only a few months away from Luigi's Mansion 3. I did Luigi's Mansion 1 last year, and I still found it to be a very fun game, that unfortunately it's just a little too on the short side. It ends just as it's starting to hit its stride. After Luigi's Mansion came out as a launch title for the Nintendo GameCube in 2001, there were no other Luigi's Mansion games. The designers wanted to make another one for the longest time. Shigeru Miyamoto was on record in saying that he supported the idea of using Luigi as the main character again, but in 2013 that day would come when Nintendo announced the Year of Luigi, celebrating 30 years since Luigi debuted in Mario Bros. That whole year had a slew of Luigi-featured games. I'm doing the first one today. I wish I was YouTubing during the Year of Luigi, that would have been fun. So let's start off with that plot. So skip to this time in the video if you don't want to be spoiled. Professor Egad has been researching ghosts in Evershade Valley. The ghosts are friendly, but suddenly the dark moon shatters into pieces and the ghosts become much more aggressive. Luigi is at home sleeping while watching TV, when Egad suddenly teleports him into his lab. I guess it's kind of like Star Trek's teleportation. Not sure I like the idea of somebody playing with my molecules. But anyway, Egad tells Luigi that once again, he must take up the vacuum and save the day by playing Ghostbuster. But this time there's a bit of mystery of who's behind it. Of course, the hints as to what's really going on are blatantly obvious as to who's the captured prize that you have to rescue again. But what I find endearing about the game is the little character interactions. Every time Luigi rescues a toad from a painting, the toad gives off a little bit of a worrying reaction, and Luigi's response is to pat him on the head. I like it. It gives these characters some depth. Of course, I do find it funny that Luigi always cowers whenever he gets pixelated, despite Egad telling him not to do that. But really, this game is again about Luigi overcoming his fears. You see, the idea of a coward being forced to overcome his fears makes for an interesting dynamic. You see, while Mario is locked under corporate lockdown, Luigi is actually allowed to have a personality. Though they have been giving the characters more personality in recent years, Luigi's Mansion 3 is proof of that. Even Super Mario Odyssey had the characters doing things like emote. Well, let's start off with the graphics. The graphics look pretty good for a 3DS game. The music is pretty catchy as well. I just love the way Luigi dances whenever he does something good. The voice acting is there. You know, grunts and all that stuff. What I will give the game credit for is that it oozes personality and charm throughout the whole game. The ghosts are all designed well, and the mansions all feel unique. More on that as we go. So now let's get started with the actual game. So the first mansion Luigi goes to is the Gloomy Mansion, a standard haunted mansion. Much like the original game, Luigi walks about the same. It's funny that for the brother that's all about the better jumps, in his own games he can't jump at all. The combat is designed around the stiff movement, so you never suffer for it. So basically you go to the garage and you pick up your new Poltergust, the Poltergust 5000.
Ho 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 ho! Wow. Ha ha!
Now that is how you arm your hero. So really what I will say about the basic gameplay, you have to use your flashlight to stun the ghost and then you can suck them up. You can actually suck up 2 or 3 ghosts at a time now, a nice upgrade. You can charge the strobe bulb to stun the ghosts. This idea works a lot as I have been able to nab all the ghosts in a room like this, but one of the biggest problems I have with this is that you can't turn around while you're holding down the A button. So thus things can get a little awkward there. Fortunately, there's the quick flash which generally does the job. One of the new things I noticed is the variety of ghosts that you can gather. You have green ghosts, which are the standard ghosts, the red ghosts, which are typically much bigger, and the blue ghosts, which are the ones with the most health. Sometimes ghosts will hide in the furniture, which means you have to tap on the furniture to lure the ghost out. Alright, let's see here. It wants to gather the ghost. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, this is fun. I'm doing things right. Wait! The mission's over? I gotta go back to the bunker? Oh. So, yeah, that's the thing about Luigi's Mansion 2. The levels are mission-based. You basically go in, you achieve your objective, then you go back to the bunker. Just when I was starting to have fun. But now I have to go back. Okay, then. Well, like in the first game, you can find money, beautiful cash scattered throughout the mansion. There is nothing quite as wonderful as money. Here it serves the purpose of upgrading your vacuum, so unlike the first game where the money you got affected what mansion you got at the end, this game has it serve as the upgrade system. This is a change I can get behind, as it makes getting the money mandatory and not have to be relegated to just getting the extra mansion. Each mansion has gems that you can find, but they're strictly optional and are not scattered all throughout the mansion like they were before. So in the next level you get the Dark Light, which is what you need to expose hidden doors and items. Always have to suck up these dark orbs. Chances are whenever you are stuck and can't progress, there's a hidden doorway that you have to find. Now, ghosts are much more intelligent. They can hide from your flashlight or wear protective gear to block your flashlight, but that requires you to maneuver Luigi around the ghosts. The game is largely focused on puzzle solving as you keep moving. Chances are you have to burn the flames of your web, so you just burn them with your big spider web. Now it's time for the first boss, and it's particularly a giant spider boss. This boss requires you to move around the spider and pull the huge web of your vacuum and set it on fire. It's a rather interesting kind of boss. But whatever the case, once you destroy the spider creature, the ghost possessing it comes out and all you have to do is suck up part of the ghost. Rinse and repeat 3 times and you got the boss battle done. Definitely a little different from the original.
Oh. Yes! Ho-ho!
So the next mansion is the Haunted Towers, which requires a lot of tracking through the areas to get the gears you need to progress. This is also where I should mention that boos return, but they are much harder to find than they were in the original game. Fortunately, they are strictly optional this time. The way they're fought is much different. No worry of them sneaking into another room. Just gotta expose them and then pull on their tongue until they're out of health. Much better than before. Then I rescue the Toad and run into the 3 sisters. Here's where the game really rears its big flaw. I ended up dying to the sisters because I couldn't get enough health points. I got the boo, all the gems in the level, but because I died, I had to do the whole level all over again. Like, would it be too much to ask for a checkpoint system? I know the levels are broken up into missions, but an autosave would be nice. Also, you occasionally have to deal with this ghost dog that keeps causing Luigi trouble. Such a cute dog, Luigi should adopt it. But annoying to chase. Now it's time to go to the second boss, but Luigi has to take the stairs.
Take the stairs. Hate the stairs.
You have to memorize the flames path, otherwise Luigi will trip and fall down the entire way.
So many stairs.
After much memorization, some perseverance, you finally get to the top.
No stairs.
The boss for the second mansion is considerably much easier. The boss is in a giant staircase, or rather the ghost is possessing it. I find this to be the easiest boss in the entire game. It's really quite predictable. With that, one more piece of the Dark Moon is acquired, and it's off to mansion number 3. The old Clockworks is, well, it's a mine, and it's filled with robots that explode. This is where I should mention that whenever you have to go across a scaffolding, these tend to be annoying because Luigi often forgets what a great jumper he is because you have to use the 3DS gyroscope to adjust Luigi's balance. Now for what I consider to be the most annoying boss in the game, because you have to be on top of the clock. Every time it hits a number, you have to fight ghosts, and nothing was more frustrating than getting really far, but then dying, and have to refight the whole boss all over again. This is the worst boss in the game, easily. Now for the secret mine, which is covered in snow. Snow as far as the eye can see. One of the most annoying things about the Toad escort mission is that he won't go across ice, so you have to use the vacuum to punt the little guy. Just dandy. But this level introduced you to more powerful ghosts. The boss stands out to me because it's a pretty fun minigame of shooting attacks at the face and getting it uncovered. Much better than the previous boss. Before we cover the final mansion, I'll talk real quick about the online multiplayer. Still works actually. I got 3 people, and we were able to do quite a few floors. It's a race and a cooperation. I don't know why everybody has to be Luigi. Why can't we have other playable characters? But I honestly encountered no problems, so really I don't have much to say. Now for the final mansion. It's basically a museum. Luigi has to visit various exhibits and discovers that Mario's been captured and King Boo is the bad guy! I'll leave you a moment to take your jaws off the floor from the shocking revelation. Then comes the next to last mission where the ghosts are all going crazy. You have to stop the ghosts before they get too frequent, otherwise you will fail the mission and have to do the whole thing all over again. I'm almost out of health. I'm not gonna make it! No! Wait. If you have the golden bone, the dog will revive you? I know EGAD mentioned something about it being useful, but sue me. I haven't played this game in 6 years. So anyway, boss time. It's actually a unique boss because you have to pull the rug out from under the suits of armor, then he merges into one big one, and you have to time the pulls just right. So all's well that ends well, final Dark Moon piece obtained. But then King Boo interrupts your pixelation progress. Let's just say the game becomes much darker when he finally takes action. This battle is actually quite fun. Strategically timing the spike balls to fall on top of him, then being chased through a hallway, it adds a sense of danger and tension to the battle. He comes off as tenacious too, not going into the vacuum at first, but finally you defeat him and rescue Mario.
What? Whoa! Mario? Oh. Luigi, you saved Mario. I did it. Way to go. Oh. Number 1.
This is actually really quite brilliant. You see, this game, despite its flaws, is all about Luigi finally stepping out of his brother's shadow and becoming a hero in his own right. A man overcame his fears to rescue his brother and the world. That, to me, is a sign of true courage. A hero is not always the bravest or the strongest, but simply one who rises up to the challenge. Luigi has earned his happy ending. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is a charming, endearing, excellent game.
Oh, thanks, my bro. Thanks, Mario. Oh. 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 Oh.
Hey, if you liked the video, please hit that bell, like, and subscribe button. Thanks.